Hi there. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today. So, if you're joining us now, welcome. Or if you do watch the replay after this, as most of you would be watching the replay after this, and you'd like to ask me a question, reach out to me. Please do so in the chat below or the comments, and I'll be sure to pick it up as we go along. So, I'm Joyce, and I'm Joyce from MarketingTech. We're a digital marketing agency focusing on SEO and mobile technology for SMEs. So today I'm going to talk about LeadTracker and hopefully get to do a live demo just to show you what it is about and how it can help your business with LeadTracker. So what's LeadTracker? LeadTracker is a simple tool. It's not a CRM. It does one thing for your business, and that is it helps you to track, measure, and analyze all your lead generation activities, whether it's online or it's offline. So just give me a sec. Let me just double check. Yes. Okay. Just checking that we are going live. Okay. So, as I was saying, it helps you to track, measure, and analyze all your lead generation activities, whether it's offline or online lead generation. It can all be tracked on LeadTracker. So, it's platform agnostic, if that makes sense. Why do we do this? So that if we track our lead generation activities, we can then make data driven decisions on the marketing or lead generation activities that we can invest our time, our energy, and our money on. So, what I'm going to do with the 15 or so minutes that I have is I'm going to do a live demo for you. So, it's going to be a whistle stop, a whirlwind tour of what the platform can do, different features on the platform, which I want to go through with you. So, let's go straight into that. Just give me a sec. Let me just hide the background. It is quite distracting. Right, so that's the LeadTracker sign-in page that you see here. So first of all, to get into LeadTracker, you would have to sign up. So give us a little details just to set yourself up here. So I'm just going to use my test email. Hopefully I got the right one here. Um, there you go. So now I'm in LeadTracker. So it's quite easy to use. I'm just going to go through a couple of the key features. Won't go through everything here today because we don't really have that much time on this live. But I would encourage you to watch the demo videos on the LeadTracker sign-in page. We have set up a series of videos talking through each and every one of the tabs that you see here on the left side. So the video tutorials will go into a lot more detail about LeadTracker. So for today, I'm just going to take you through a couple of quick, easy steps to get you started so that you can start testing it out for you, have a play around the system. So I'm just going to jump from dashboard to lead channels. So first of all, when you use LeadTracker, I would just to start here first, which is channels. So these are the essentially the activities that you would generate leads from. So I have here a whole list of it I generate leads on, such as agency networking, BNI, general networking, in-person speaking, events. So it's whatever you want to set up and whichever way you generate leads from. You can toggle the switches. You can channels on and off. You can edit it if you want to at any time. So it's quite easy to, if you want to create a new channel, you can just essentially you go to add channel, put the name of the channel that you want to be tracking. I would suggest to be as specific as you can, because then you would get a clearer picture of your return on investment on that specific channel. I have been a little vague here, so I wouldn't use my example as one to follow. So be as specific on the channel that you want to be tracking, and the notes column obviously put in as a description of what exactly you are tracking. that. So once you've put in all your channels, remember you can add it or you can delete at any time. You then go to the leads form field. So here you have data that you want to be inputting or you want to include when you track your leads. So these are optional fields. Obviously, you want to track the name of the lead. It is a person that you're tracking in this instance. So first name, last name, and note. So these are the three fields that I use to track my leads. But you may want to add in the phone number, the website of the business, email, company, so on and so forth. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do. The only thing I will say is that if you want to in future plug the data from here onto a CRM system, then it might be useful for you to consider putting in fields such as email, as well as telephone number, so that you can then plug it into your CRM at a later stage. So once you've set up your lead form fields, you then go on to start keying in a lead. So I have a whole series of dummy leads here. Just for GDPR purposes, I'm not going to show the real leads that I've been putting in. So under each lead, again, you could view each lead. You could edit the lead. If you change your mind at a later stage or you want to add in more notes on the lead, you can do so. Just to remind yourself where you met this lead, for example, where this lead comes from. You can delete that lead. You can assign a win to that lead. So I'm going to go into that win section in a bit. So to add a lead, again, it's very, very simple. Once you've set up all your channels, you can then assign the lead to that channel. So for example, if you met John Doe 1 at a BNI event, you can then select BNI as a channel and then select the date. So for example, if it's today that you met John Doe, you can then put in the name of this person that you are tracking, the lead you're tracking, and some notes there, and then you hit save. And that's it, really. It's as simple as that. Next, I want to talk about wins. You can, at a later stage, if, for example, maybe 2 months later, you get to talking to John Doe 1 again, and John Doe 1, for example, has given you some new business, for example, or you may have struck up a new partnership with John Doe 1 to refer a business to each other. That's fantastic. So to do that, to record the win, you then go to the win section. So that's the win section. Describe what your win is. So it's good to be as specific as you want. If it's a non-monetary win, meaning to say that it's not new business that you've won, that's perfectly fine. You will then key in under the notes section. So this is a section for your notes, new speaking opportunity. Say, for example, that's the win that you've got. That's fine. So you just put that in and you just save it, and that's it. If it's a piece of new business that you've won, fantastic. You just put in the amount. So you could put in the size of the contract or revenue that you've received where it's applicable. If there is no monetary value to the win, not for now, then just put a 0. So in this case, you can put, say, it's £1,000 worth of business from John Doe, for example. Right, so that's the win. So you can then assign that win. So let's go to the win section. So I've assigned this win to Mary Jane. Pardon me, it should be John Doe, but it doesn't matter. So I've assigned a win to Mary Jane, £1,000, and it's recorded here. And you can put in your notes here. So you can also add in the win from here as well, from this section. So let's say you can add the win to, you've got another win, for example, John Doe. So John Doe 1. Right, so John Doe 1 has given you some business. You can then add in the amount here. If it's a monetary value, if there is a monetary value, £2,000. You don't have to currency. It's all in pound sterling in this instance. So put 2,000 and there's no monetary value. Just put a zero there and put your notes, and that's it. So there are two places you can add in the win there. If you have if you have attributed into a specific lead that you have. So let's go on to the leads overview section. So in this section, you can see you can select the date. So for example, I just want to see where I stand in terms of lead generation over the last 30 days, for example. So last 30 days, you can select last 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, 15 days. So it depends on how much data you already have over there. So apply, and then what it does is there are two charts here. It gives you a glance of how you're doing. So over the last, I've selected 3 months, haven't I? So last 3 months, that's my date range. These are the leads, the number of leads. So there's a number of leads next to the channel. So the color-coded pie chart depicts each of these channels and the leads that it comes from. So it gives you a number there. You can also track, in this case, in this instance, let me just refresh this chart. Okay, so this chart here, the pie chart here that you see, gives you an idea of win percentages. So over the last 30 days, it tells you where you're winning from. So this is an example of the wins that I have. For example, BNI qualified referrals, got win from there. General networking, got wins from there. Person speaking event, got a win from there. LinkedIn content, got another win from there. So the percentages of these wins are simply calculated when you have a win. So for example, general network, I may have had over the last 3 months, perhaps I may have 2 wins. So you just take the number of wins, divide by the total number of leads that you have put in on the system over the period that you've specified. So in my case, over 3 months, and that will give you the percentage of that win. So obviously, as you can see in this chart, this is just an example to show you. I get the most number of wins, success from general networking in this instance. So what you can do is this chart allows you to pit one lead generation channel against another lead generation channel in order for you to compare how successful each channel has been in generating leads for you. And as I mentioned, the wins do not have to be monetary wins. They could be non-monetary wins as well, as in a speaking partnership. It could be a campaign that you're running together. That could be a win. It's what you define a win to be. It could be a new referral partnership as well. So all these could be wins for your business. So these two charts hopefully are helpful to give you a bird's eye view of how you're doing so far with the lead generation channels. And this table, I'll just quickly go through this table. So this table, again, it's the period that you specify. So in this case, I've specified, for example, last 3 months, total number of leads, each channel. So it gives you a breakdown of leads coming from each of these channels. Marketing expenses, I'll go through that in a minute. The cost per lead, how much you have spent, how much you've paid out in order to acquire that lead for that specific channel. The revenues, so these are reported revenues. So it's a contract size, for example. It's whatever you put into in this case. So remember I was mentioning the section under win. So this is where the numbers are pulled out from. ROI is basically a return on investment for that specific channel over that period of time. So it calculates your ROI for that channel in that specific period. And the number of wins, obviously, is wins that you actually put in. So again, these are monetary and non-monetary wins. So it's all recorded here, and a win percentage. So as I mentioned, a win percentage is simply the number of wins divided by the total number of leads that you've acquired or you've put into the system over that specified period. That's in a table format. So hopefully that's helpful, gives you a picture of what the system can do. So the last thing I'm going to mention is marketing expenses. It's optional whether you want to be tracking your marketing expense. It's useful to put your expenses in because then that would allow you to track your return on investment and also the cost per lead as well. If you don't wish to do so, it's fine. You don't have to use this section. I find it helpful. Just to track my expenses here and to track how much um, return on investment I would get from each channel or how expensive each lead is. Um, you may be quite surprised. Sometimes certain lead generation channels may generate lots and lots and lots of leads for you, but relatively little return on investment, meaning to say they don't really convert very well, even though you may get lots of leads from there. Essentially, they're rubbish leads. But some lead generation channels may only give you a couple of leads, but then they do convert better. So it's always useful to have a good idea, a good sense of the return on investment from each of these wins from each of these channels, if that makes sense. So we're just going to go into, so these are just a couple of examples of marketing expenses I put in. Membership fees, software, of course. Software has become a large part of our marketing expense. Right, so just to give you an example of the data that you can put in. This is optional. If you want to attach an invoice, a record, a receipt of what you spend, you can do so here. So assigning the expense to that lead channel. So for example, if let's say I spend money on networking, I've just purchased, sign up for another year of networking membership. So I paid for it today, and let's just say I spent £360, and this is an annual membership. So that's what I've spent. And the question here is, do you wish to assign the expense to the month in which you invoice? It means to say that if all of that expense is allocated to that month, so the month of February, then that's fine. Hit yes. You can put in some notes there if you wish to. If you want to spread out the costs of that marketing expense over the 12 months, because as I mentioned, this is an annual membership. So you can do so. So what it does is gives you probably a clearer picture of your ROI. So instead of putting all your marketing expense into one specific month, you're actually spreading the costs of that. So in this case, it's an annual membership that I've just renewed, for example. So I'm just going to put January to December. And what it does is it will automatically split this £360 that you spend into 12 equal parts. So that'll be 36 pounds. Is that right? Yeah, £36 a month that you're spending on the membership. And that's it. Put in some notes there if you wish to. So this is helpful, as I mentioned, marketing expenses for you to track the ROI of that channel, and also the cost per lead of that channel. I won't go through it, but I think that's the main gist of it. Right, let me just stop sharing that. So happy to take any questions. Have any questions on LeadTracker itself? So before I finish off, I'm just going to say LeadTracker version 1. We started testing last Friday. So far, we've got close to 30 people signing up to test the tool, mainly from people like yourself from my LinkedIn network. So thank you very much for your interest and your support there. For those that that have signed up to test the tool, you would have received by now an email and a LinkedIn message from us with instructions on how to test the platform and how to give us feedback. So there'll be two platforms that we're using, two tabs that you have when you're testing. So one is LeadTracker, the one that I've just showed you, that's the tool itself. And then you have another tab open, which is the testing platform. That you can give us your valuable feedback with. So your feedback at this crucial testing stage will really help us, my team and I, my development team and I, to shape the tool into something that is indispensable for you, your team, and your business. Obviously, we're still looking for more testers at this stage. We've just started. So if you're interested in finding out more about this tool, then please do scan the QR code. You can see the QR code in the top corner, and I'll just make it a bit more obvious for you. I think you should be able to see the QR code there. Oh, where is it? It's not really showing there. Okay, I'm not quite sure why the QR code is not showing, but there is another QR code on in the corner. So if you can scan that QR code and sign up, answer a couple of quick questions, if you will, just to help us gauge your response and what you think of this whole idea, whether you think it's going to be helpful or not helpful. Would love to hear your feedback, and then give us a couple of quick details, your email address, obviously, so that we can communicate with you and then send you some instructions on testing. So I hope that's really helpful. Um, yeah, I just want to say thanks, Chris, for being there, and Ovi, thank you very much. Let me know if you have any questions. Pop your questions in the chat box. I'm not quite sure why this is not working. Someone scanned the QR code. Oh, someone has scanned the QR code. So thanks, guys. I'm going to sign off here, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.